Welcome to the REFCON 6 introduction video. When you have installed REFCON, this user interface will show up. The layout is simple. To the left you find the side panel. From this you can easily select what to see here in the picture area. Further you see a top panel, where you will find common functions such as the container search bar, where you can search quickly for one or more containers, and you can also see the current user, which you can change as you like. Finally, you have all information regarding a container in the Container Details window at the bottom of the screen. This has all been put together based on what our users have expressed as their favorite style. The picture area is yours to arrange. To change to another picture, simply click in the side panel. By clicking at the blue square at the plan or list that you want to see and deciding where to show it, you have a screen that meets your requirements. You can either choose to have a list that fills the entire window, or you can split the screen either vertically or horizontally. It is very easy to adjust the picture area to your need. If you click on Container Plan in the side panel, you will get this graphical presentation of the reefer containers on board the vessel or in the terminal. By simply pointing at a container in the plan, you will immediately see the most common information for this container. When you click on the same container, the bottom window will change into showing additional information for this specific container. As you can see, each container square has a color legend that indicates the state of the container. If the legend is green, the container is communicating and has no alarm. Light green means that the container is monitored OK by the RDC. White means that the container has never communicated, probably because there is no modem installed in this container. When the color is light blue, the container has a modem available, but has not started communicating. If this persists, we recommend that you repair the modem. Look out for the orange containers. They have obsolete data, which can happen if the system stops communicating with this specific container, for instance by unintended unplugging. When the container has an alarm, the legend will be flashing red and yellow, and when you have acknowledged the alarm, it will be red. Finally, if the container square is divided in two, it is because there are two 20-foot reefer containers at the location. Now let us take a closer look at container details. This is the container details window, where you have all information regarding pairs data for this container. The container is identified by ID, location and controller type, which you can see in the left side of the container window. Also a picture of the controller type is shown. The color legend next to the container ID corresponds to the color shown in the container plan. When you move to the right, you have a palette of tabs. For example, the Alarms tab lists all the current alarms on the container, if any. The Summary tab aims at giving you an overview of the current and historic data, and it gives access to the most common functions. To the left in the Summary tab, you will see the set point and information from the container manifest. Next to this, you see a column of command buttons. And further to the right, you have historic log for this container. REFCON logs the temperature and other conditions every hour. The top row of the log list shows current values with green background to indicate that they are up to date. The succeeding rows are the historic recordings. These can also be viewed graphically by clicking the Trend button. This is an example of mismatch between expected and actual set point temperature. As you can see, the actual set point temperature is 14 degrees and the expected set point is -20. The mismatch causes the actual set point to be written in red. You can change the actual set point by clicking on the set point field. The program will ask for your user ID and password. Enter the temperature set point that does match the expected one and click OK. Confirm the operation and wait for it to operate. Now the actual set point has black letters because it matches the expected set point temperature. This was an example of the manual operations that you can execute in REFCON 6. You can also do other operations, such as initiating a manual defrosting or refreshing the data. The REFCON system's hardware devices, such as the master, can be found in the top panel under Settings, Views. Here's the list. Under User's Description, you can write your own description. Check that all devices are green, indicating that they are online. When you see the fish icon swimming, this device is active. If you need help to understand the functions of REFCON, you can always find it under Help, User Help, or press the F1 button on your keyboard. You can also click on the question mark icon above each window to open the User Help and jump directly to the relevant topic. This is the User Help window, in which you can search for the guidance that you need. If you take a closer look at the side panel, you will find 4 very important functions. At the bottom of the side panel, you find the container scanner, which tells you that the system is communicating to the reefer containers and operating in a normal way. Above this information, you have the important REFCON data collector functionality, known as RDC. With this handheld, you can make a semi-automatic monitoring of the containers that have not been equipped with a modem. When you connect the RDC, you can download a list of non-communicating reefers to the handheld. Hereafter, you can make your inspection with the handheld. Pick up the RDC and inspect the selected containers. The RDC will guide you through the process. Enter on the handheld what the display on the container in front of you tells you that the actual temperature set point is. Also, other information can be entered like this. Then connect it to the PC again and click Import Data File in the left bottom corner. The gathered information is uploaded to the REFCON system, which will give you a complete documentation. Now you can see that the legend of the container has turned from white into light green, indicating that it has been monitored OK by the RDC. Above the RDC function, you find the planning data import function, which is related to the interface to the terminal planning system or the loading computers on board the vessels. With this interface, you get vital information regarding container ID, physical location, and expected set points. By matching this expected information with the actual information received from the reefer controllers, REFCON is able to identify critical set point deviations. It also allows REFCON to show the containers graphically in the container plan. If REFCON finds a mismatch, an alarm will occur. At the top of the side panel, you find the performance bar. The bar shows the percentage of containers that are monitored and have no alarms. Ideally, you reach 100% monitoring and the bar is green. In this case, you will be granted a smiley. Most often, the performance bar has green, orange, light blue, white, and red areas corresponding to the container plan legends. Next to the bar you can see the group names and the number of containers currently in each group. When you click a group, you will have a corresponding list of containers opened. For example, click on the red area or the alarms text to get the list of container alarms. In this case, there are 19 containers with alarms. Here you are given a full description, as displayed in the reefer container manufacturer's own reference. You can also see when the alarm was initiated and who did acknowledge this information. To acknowledge an alarm, click the checkmark icon above the list either to acknowledge a selected alarm or all alarms in the list. This was the quick introduction to the REFCON 6. We trust that the system will be very helpful to you. You can always find more information on our homepage, myrefcon.com.